Friends, let's come back to our PE series. In the first video of ours, we discussed about what is PE, which was very general and which was very basic. But now let's come and drill down to different types of PE, starting with service PE. What is service PE? A service PE is established if the non-resident delivers services for longer than the prescribed threshold, and the said services are furnished in the source country through the employees or other personnel of the non-resident. Now, what is service? Service is rendered by employees, number one. And number two, if the employees are staying in India for more than the prescribed period, beyond the threshold period, then a service PE is said to be formed. Traditionally, a service PE required the physical presence of the employees. For example, a German consulate came to India to render services. So he came physically to India to render his services. But in today's digital economy, this understanding is being challenged as more and more jurisdictions are doing away with this requirement. People are working offshore with a server in India. They don't need to come physically to perform the services here. And that is what is challenging. For example, the governments of Saudi Arabia and Israel have passed internal guidelines that suggest that a non-resident would have a service PE if it furnished services, including consultancy services, through employees or other personnel who are offshore and are not physically present in the source state. So, the main thing is that a physical presence of the employee isn't required in today's digital economy if the activities continue within the source state for more than 183 days. Again, the Kuwait government has also adopted this new approach, according to which services performed by a non-resident for a period longer than the tax treaty threshold pursuant to a contract with a Kuwaiti customer will prima facie create a service PE in Kuwait. This is even if the employees are not physically present in Kuwait and if the services are performed entirely offshore. Measuring employee time for service PE threshold. The Mumbai bench of the ITAT held that in determining the 90-day period for ascertaining whether there is a PE of a non-resident under the Indian UK income tax treaty, an employee's leave period is excluded, and the stay of employees in India on a particular day must be measured cumulatively and not independently. That is, multiple counting is to be avoided or the mandis is to be avoided. We have a very good judgment given in the case of ABB FZ LLC case, which is a very popular case to determine whether service PE is formed or not. The tribunal held that the foreign entity would establish a service PE under the India UAE tax treaty as long as its employees render services to an Indian entity for a significant period, even if they are not physically present in India. The ITAT also held that the service PE clause under the India UAE tax treaty is an independent clause, and the condition of having a fixed place of business is not required to be met in case of service PE. The ITAT further elaborated its view by observing that in the present age of technology, where services, information, consultancy, management can be provided via virtual modes, the taxpayer's argument of a fixed place of business cannot be sustained as such. Services can now easily be rendered without necessitating the physical presence of the taxpayer employees. Lastly, the tribunal also held that the constitution of the PE under the India UAE tax treaty is not dependent on whether the employees stayed in India for the threshold period, but upon the fact that services have been rendered over a period of more than 9 months within any 12 months period. The conclusion is the consequences of this new development would mean that any work or service performed, I repeat, any work or service performed as a non resident under a cross border agreement, which continues for a period longer than the threshold period under the tax treaty, example 183 days, could potentially lead to a service PE exposure in India. Such an interpretation is extremely draconian in nature and could have far reaching implications on the global business operations of the multinational enterprises operating in multiple jurisdictions. In order to furnish services in the host country, the presence of such employees in that host country is mandatory. Such a presence could be either in the form of physical presence or if the services have been rendered offshore through the non-resident's fixed server in India. I repeat, not only the presence includes a physical presence, but also an virtual presence via non-resident fixed server would also be considered the presence. Pending the examination of ITAT ruling before the higher courts, it is recommended that the parties entering into cross-border transactions maintain detailed documentation setting out the intention of the parties in order to be able to mitigate service PE exposure. Many thanks, and your suggestions are most welcome. Bye bye, friends.